and they'd be blowing wires up 50 stories up a building. And I was in the technical division, so I didn't have to mess with that. But these guys were doing stuff that was amazing. They'd be wiring up 100-story buildings, and I was wiring up computers, and they thought that was amazing.
Yeah, I'm impressed. I'm always impressed with the three-phase distribution systems. It's just the grid just fascinates me. I mean, that's just actually that it is as antiquated as it is, and as screwed up as it is, it works as well.
How about DC high voltage lines?
Yeah, kind of. Not very common, but you do find them in the world occasionally.
I got one of those in the room behind me.
Whiskey 4, I government I said yes, especially if you have those high voltage lines. Yeah, good stuff, high voltage. That's what Jesus sticks are for.
You do get a fair amount of losses through that corona ring and stuff, so yeah, DC doesn't have that problem, but it has other issues.
No, it's just not wearing its mask.
So you gotta watch out for that corona. It'll give you problems with your lungs.
Oh God, yeah, the vaccine can't get here soon enough. It'd be nice to get life back to normal, but I don't think that's gonna happen right now. But I think we're into this mess for another 9 months to a year.
K1 KBW.
Hey, there's another corona. Well, my life hasn't changed at all. Except the government keeps sending me more money than I know what to do with.
Well, Bill, if you get, if you feel like you're getting a little too much, just send it back to the working folks.
And I worked my 50 years and more, and I'll take anything they want to give me. I just consider it payback.
I work 55 years, so I'm going to get whatever I can get.
13, yeah, 52 years, so.
So there you go. We earned anything we get. We earned. We paid into the system. Yep, we were very good, conscientious citizens. Never cheated on our taxes, at least not that we would admit to. And now we get a little bit back.
Exactly. Worked all our lives, unlike some people.
Yep. Yeah. Well, maybe one of these days I'll be in that mode, but not for a while. Hey, Bobby.
How you doing there, Joey? What's new?
Just living the dream up here in the COVID-19 bubble.
Yo, Giant Man, what's up? Thanks for the host, brother.
Changed. Really a lot. I mean, we still go grocery shopping on Saturday.
All right, Tommy, I see you.
But,
enjoy the pizza.
Yeah. Of course, I got the hot tub, so I'm in that often.
Hey, it was an interesting story.
I'm looking for great whites, because I can see Harpswell right out the window here. It's like, oh yeah, that's crazy up here, but no, it's actually been this incidence is pretty very low. I think we've had like 150 folks have passed away total since this started from COVID. So, you can just look at the incidence up here. It's so much lower. I'm glad, because they've done the right stuff. They want to keep it that way.
What's up, Nick?
Yeah, I'm wondering why they haven't done anything to that stupid mayor in New York, because they put the statistics up on the board today. All right. Now, Florida has, I think it was 468. Maybe 47,000. 47,000. I forget what the number was, but anyway, let's put it this way. They had more people infected with the virus than New York did, but only 6,000 died in Florida, and 32,000 died in New York because that stupid mayor sent them all into the old folks' homes, and he actually killed them.
You're talking about the governor?
Yeah, the governor, yeah.
Well, I think too, Bob, you have to remember, when this first came out, nobody really had a good treatment protocol. They were making shit up. I mean, the ER docs were just, those guys were doing a fantastic job because they didn't know what to do. Sure, I think some of the long-term care facilities probably had issues, but I think that the good news, and there is a silver lining here, is that the
hello, W2BTK, 3875 or so.
Up, right?
Wait, what? I keyed up to identify. What'd you say, Clark?
I said, I can't believe this frequency is free. This is amazing.
Yeah, not bad, right? Oh, you're way down there, though. I'm on 3875. I'll come to you, but, I mean, you should probably just come here.
No, hey, listen, if you want me on 75, that's fine, but I want to listen to you on 73 because I don't want to hear from 85.
Oh, I forgot you can't notch that crap out. All right, if you'd be so kind, I'm going to jack the volume on my receiver way up, and if you could just, like, throw a dead key for maybe 20 seconds, I'll come zero beat ya.
Done. There you have it. Well, this is like a phase inversion. I guess 3885 is the one spot, the fun spot. Well, they can have it.
Oh, crap. Yeah, that was too... Somebody else, like, threw a carrier while I was trying to do that, and I wasn't able to hear my VFO, so now I got to just run back and forth and try to get on frequency. This is a pain in my butt, Clark. I hope you know that.
Well, you could just dial down to some random frequency, and I'll just listen to you there. But anyway, here's your dead carrier.
Yeah, well, hello?
Boy. Another purging of the T3 FEF message board. What the hell are you people talking about that's causing this?
Man, somebody keeps throwing a carrier while you're doing that, and all I can hear is... You know, so that's not good. I think I'm finally on 3873, though.
Alright. Well, Carrier Dude's friends are all up on 85, so you can go visit up there.
Man, I have to completely shut off almost the entire upper sideband of my receive to not get splash from that crap. It's crazy. Everything sounds yellowy now. Great.
Well, if you've got control of your independent sidebands, why don't you just pull the top one in and let the lower one run free?
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, but that's not going to change the fidelity. You don't need both sidebands for receiving.
It's only a matter of time before some schlop bucket activity makes it so that I can listen to, like, 2KC wide total. I'll get 1K of Clark audio, but right now it's good. the lower sideband is way out there, and the upper sideband is just shut off.
Well, if you want, I'll transmit on 3875 and give you more bandwidth listening.
Yeah, the problem is that I guess that's Bob. His S's and T's are going past 3875.
Yeah, well, I mean, he does that on purpose. So, whatever frequency you want to listen on, that's fine. But for me, with a double sideband receiving radio, 3873 is probably best.
Yeah, this is fine. I hear you fine. I think I got everything all figured out now. There's a couple people starting to come into the chat. So, all right, success.
It's nice to have some success.
I blew up an LD-MOS transistor today. I got my proof of concept down, though, with the vector signal generator. I was transmitting with it, make it decent power, and then the interstage amplifier, I guess it crept up in drive power as it heated up, and it launched the $200 LD-MOS device.
Oh, thermal runaway. Yep, that's not a good thing.
Yeah, but at least I proved it worked. Now I gotta spend a lot of time putting together goofy protection circuits and stuff that'll just shut all this crap down when that happens. I had no protection, so it's $200 down the drain.
Oh, no protection, man. That could cost you a lot more than $200.
Yeah.
It's too bad RKW, I forget Chris's call sign, or RV, whatever. Around, I had meant to tell him that the Vox dude from 3885 actually acknowledged his transmission.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was on the air yet. I had a radio on. I was kind of running back and forth through the room, but I heard him address Vox dude earlier, and he said, your transmitter keeps keying on, so that guy with the TV on in the room, your transmitter keeps keying up, and the guy actually said something back to him. But I wasn't ready to get on the air, so I thought I should probably mention this, and then I forgot. Typical, spaced. But anyway, next time.
Well, what was he doing that again today?
Oh yeah. I don't know. It's wacky what blows people's skirts up, but yeah. So there's this guy who just I guess maybe it's natural, who knows? He just has the TV on, and he sets his Vox to kind of click his rig on and off, and then just goes off and does whatever. Or maybe he just sits there. Maybe he just sits there and, spoons peanut butter out of the jar and listens for a reaction, because he actually did say something at one time. So it's like, okay, so this is crafted. It's not just simply, Dixie.
So, yeah, that's really lame. Nick is out there with a bunch of Boy Scouts trying to get their radio merit badge today, up there near Allentown. He's got some kind of 80-meter dipole, but I don't think it's working very well. Like, he can't even hear us. But he's gonna try to key up and talk to us. So, maybe we'll leave like a little bit of extra space in between.
All right, this is your space here.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. It's noisy, but yeah, I don't know. I got on lower slot bucket to talk to him at 100 watts, and he could barely hear me. I could hear him a little bit. So I think the antenna system is just not working that spectacularly.
Where's this guy?
Near Allentown.
On this band?
I just saw a light carrier in there. Was that you, Nick? Holy crow, I think that's him. The lightning crashes are preventing me from hearing exactly what you're saying, but the signal and the carrier strength is not bad.
Have him get on your Twitch channel.
He is. Well, if that was Nick, I mean, I could see your signal. You get a decent carrier in there. The modulation's getting swallowed by the lightning static. Yeah, I totally see you transmitting, but I can't make anything out. Do you have your radio merit badge, Clark?
Oh, yeah.
If all else fails, we'll just, I think he can hit the Allentown repeater on 2 meters there, so tomorrow or something. They just need to make a contact with, with another station. So we could do it that way, but they're trying the HF thing. I told him tomorrow get on 20 meters during the daytime. Probably have the best luck because, you don't need a super long antenna to do that. It's a little easier, and there's lots of activity during the day there. Just, I don't know if you would hear local signals very strong.
Oh, so he can make contact with anybody.
Yeah, well, I saw you transmitting again, Nick, but I wasn't able to pull any audio out of it. Yeah, anybody. They just have to make a contact.
All right. So what's the expression? What's Nick's working conditions? What's his rig and antenna and all that?
He's a 25-watt rice box of some sort, dipole antenna that he had a hell of a time tuning on 80 meters, but he's out there. He's working under the control of KE3AAR. So KE3AAR, if you hear me, this is W2BTK.
Well, he'd probably be there, though.
Well, KE3AAR W2BTK. Yeah, no, your carrier is totally making it. It's just the amount of noise is preventing me from hearing anything you're saying. Well, that's pretty cool, right, Clark?
How long is the dipole?
Okay, he says he's on a TS480 Kenwood, and I don't know if you're Clark asking how long the dipole is. Well, he'll probably get back to us at some point. he's in the chat, monitoring the live feed and trying his best.
Well, the reason why I ask how long the dipole is because if he has a hard time tuning up on 80, then that sounds like there may be dipole measurement issues. So that's why I was asking how long the dipole is from end to end. Is it like 120 something feet of wire with the feed line connected in the middle, or is it shorter than that, or are the two sides the same length, or are they different? I mean, theoretically, if it's a dipole, both sides would be the same length, but that's going to be very important there. So anyway, trying to help him out here. But if he's got a mentor, then that's good too. But just want to try to provide a second set of eyes here and help out Nick. N1BCG.
Well, it's funny, when he first explained it to me, he said it was an off-center fed dipole, so it's fed like almost in this. I don't think it's symmetrical, but it's close to being symmetrical. So yeah, that's hurting him right there. And then with his SWR, it was better the higher in frequency he went. So I think it's a little short, and he got it working well on 40 meters. Well, at least to tune well on 40 meters. So I don't even know what he's using. They've got a couple antennas over there. So he said he's got off-center fed 33 and 66 foot dipoles. So yeah, that's not going to work very well on 80.
That's a 40 meter and up off-center fed dipole. And if it's off-center, then that means that his balun, if that's what he's using, is not going to end up being a 1-to-1 balun. It's got to be like a 4-to-1 balun. So there's a couple of things going on.
Yeah, not quite optimal for EAM.
I should put on the FEF web SDR and listen for him up on 7290. In fact, he could try that right now. I don't even know if Nick's hearing me, but have them try 7290 AM and see how it tunes up there. Because I think that Timtron is on a lot in the evenings on 40 meters. There could be other folks on right this moment. Who knows?
That's true. It would take me quite a while to switch to 40 meters. I would basically have to disappear from my stream for at least 20 minutes. And that's just no fun.
Right. So this antenna that he's got, if it's 30, roughly 30 feet on one side and 60 on the other, that's the minimum frequency, or the lowest band he's going to be able to use is 40. It's just never going to be efficient on 80.
Yep. But, well, he made a signal. I mean, I saw his carrier here. Just wasn't enough signal to hear any audio. So, found an old thread on QRZ from about 2017 or so. Very interesting stuff going on there, as far as the Class E conversation, splashy radios, this and that. It's a good read.
All kinds of good stuff out there. N1BCG.
W2BTK. Low power.
Listening.
Hey SMU, what's up?
messing around the house on my nice day of vacation.
Oh, nice. Vacay. Man, I had a 7-month vacation at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I usually only take a day or two at a time. This time I took 9 days in a row, and today's the last day, so this...
Clark, you hear an SMU out there in OH10? That's Ohio.
I hear them like gangbangers. And now not so well.
That's because I didn't key up. What's going on, Clark?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Man, Nick says that that off-center fed deal won't tune up on 7290.
There's something going on here. It's got to tune up somewhere. Frickin' hell. I mean, okay, so I'm not going to stay key. I'm not going to pull a QIX and stay keyed up while I do all the math and think out loud. I don't know. Maybe it's if it's 30 on one side, I mean 60 feet on one side. Well, actually, yes, it's short for 40 also. I mean, if it was good for 40 meters, it would. Oh no, I'm sorry. No, that's not correct. If it were for 80 meters, then it would be 60 and 60. But he's got 30 and 60, which actually should be okay for 40. Oh, what is he using for feed line? Here we go. Is it coax and a ballon? And is it a 4-to-1 ballon, or is it open wire feeder?
I think he's using coax and probably some type of ballon.
Well, the rule of thumb is the more work that ballon has to do, the less power and efficiency he's going to get. So if he bypasses the antenna tuner, unless he's got a 480 with a built-in antenna tuner, or this is a 480 SX or HX or something like that, one of those models of TS480s has an antenna tuner built in. But as I said, if the more the tuner is doing, the less power is being transferred. So, and how high is this antenna off the ground?
Oh, there's a little bit of delay. We'll find out how high in a minute. He says it's a 4-to-1 in coax, and they have some kind of tuner over there that they're using as well.
All right, well, I mean, theoretically that should work on 40, but let's find out how high it is. But yes, a 30 on one side and 60 on the other antenna is I mean, basically what you've got is you've got a 90, maybe that's what the problem is. It's a 90-foot dipole. I don't think 90 feet is really good for any particular band, which is kind of wacky. Because the way that's supposed to go is it actually sounds like a 20-meter antenna, because you're a lot of the ways that those things work is you've got half the antenna is a half wavelength on a certain band, and the other half acts as more of a counterpoise. Or if you look at the entire thing end to end as the antenna, then you can put the feed point off center where the impedance is higher. That's the principle that the G7 that thing antenna works on.
Well, he says it's up about 50 foot, and they're up on top of a ridge with some pretty decent elevation, so good location, antenna's up 50 feet, so I don't know. It should be working okay, but I noticed he's like having a lot of trouble hearing stuff.
Well, elevation of the ground above sea level is great for, VHF and UHF, but, he can be 5,000 feet closer to the ionosphere, and saving the RF path by 1 mile out of hundreds isn't going to make much of a difference. But again, for VHF and UHF and stuff like that, being high up on a ridge does pay off.
Yep, so if all else fails, we get on the Allentown, Pennsylvania repeater there and make contacts that way. He's got an HT, so you should be able to hit that thing.
Well, it would be good to figure out what's going on here, because that antenna, I mean, it has to tune up somewhere. 80 we can cross off the list, but I'm a little surprised that it doesn't work at all on 40, unless there's some other part of the band that it works on. Really? So you said it was 30 on one side and 60 on the other?
Yeah, 33 and 66. Oh, here you go. He says he can hear everything on the SDR. I guess he's got an SDR over there or something, but when it goes into the rice box, he's got problems.
Is he running it into the SDR with the tuner also? Or is the antenna coax going right to the SDR? Maybe the tuner's the issue.
Good question.
Question also, another question, part B, is the tuner external, or is this the built-in tuner to the 480?
Yeah, Dave's asking the same thing. He wants pictures or a drawing of how it's all hooked up or something. Maybe Nick can work on that. Text it to me. I can show everybody.
Oh, Bill, you're gonna have to step up the show over there. You're getting smacked around by sidebands.
I am. Uh-oh. Dave says hello, Clark.
Which Dave is this?
Very weak Dave.
No wonder I don't hear him.
Am I really getting taken out by that splash from 3885?
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap, man. That is obnoxious.
Well, it's on purpose.
All right, hold on.
People don't run like legal limit plus by accident. Oh gosh, do I have a 1200 watt carrier? Oh man, that must mean that I can only modulate like 10 or 12% at most. And then if I modulate 200%, with a 1200 watt carrier, that's what? That's 9,600 watts of PEP. Wow, 9,600 watts of PEP. I don't remember that number being in the rules for PEP limit. Was it really 9,600? I don't know. I'll have to go back and review that. Oh well. Anyway. But people don't do that by accident.
All right. Should be able to hear me better now, Clark. So, hello, testing 1, 2, 3, 4. This is W2BTK. And hopefully you're not having any trouble hearing me now over the excessive amount of splash coming from a QSO on 3885. This is W2BTK transmitting on 3875.
I hear you, fine business.
I'm sorry, 3873.
Yeah, what's single digits, right?
Well, yeah, that's just sad. The good news is though, like that dude isn't doing so well. I don't think he's gonna be around forever.
All right, that's beyond the scope here.
It's true though.
I know, but come on.
Well, I mean, you're leaving a legacy. I mean, it's nobody's gonna say, "Oh, he was a really nice guy." It'd be like, "Wow, yeah, he's well, you know what I'm trying to say."
In his defense, I can cite numerous times he was a really, really nice guy to me. So that's why things like this are, very upsetting, because it's like, what happened here?
Well, I've formed an opinion, and that's it. It's kind of set in stone.
All right. Well, in any case, I'm hearing you much more fine business now.
Well, that's good. It's really stupid that I have to do this.
You know what it's like when you go into a restaurant and let's say you're there early, like maybe 6 o'clock, early seating time. And a restaurant's relatively quiet, and you're there with a bunch of friends, and you're just having normal conversation, and then more and more people start piling into the restaurant, and the noise level starts to go up, and then you get the later dinner crowd. Now you're still there because you're hanging out, you're catching up with friends you haven't seen in a long time. The stories are going back and forth, and then this one table gets populated with a bunch of noisy people, like they were already out drinking, and then decided, boy, we better get something to eat because we're like really drunk. We gotta get something to eat in our stomachs. And then they show up, and then they're just like yelling over each other, and you get that, the one woman with the jangly bracelets and the big hair and with the obnoxious laugh, and then everyone else in the restaurant is like, Jesus, who the hell is that biatch? And then everyone starts to raise their voices, and then the loud table starts to get louder, and then pretty soon the whole restaurant, everybody is yelling at each other, so that they can be heard. That's when you need to have someone, set off the sprinkler system and just hose everyone down. Say, all right, everyone cut the crap and start returning to normal, talking levels. But it's the same thing on the bands, People just start nudging the output power up, and then that forces everybody else to do it. It's just a cycle that can't be broken.
Yeah. Well, that's when you bring an air horn into the place and just start blasting at people, until the cops get called, but it gets the point across. Okay, so you hear me fine. I'm going to go in there and gradually reduce my power until I'm at a level where you can hear me over the QRM, and I really am going to do my best to try to use the lowest amount of power necessary to maintain this QSO. So let me go turn it down a little bit, and I'll come back in and we'll see where I'm at. If you still hear me really well, I'll go turn it down a little bit more until we get to a point where it's like, yeah.
I am astonished by this attentiveness to responsible operating. It just doesn't seem like you. Anyway, let's see what's on 10 meters here. Oh. What the hell? Oh, it's like I've got 2 radios. Man, 10 meters is like totally dead. Have you ever done that? Have you ever, like, gotten so used to where controls are on the front panel of a radio? It's like you know what to turn or push or whatever based on where they are on the front panel. Like, you don't need to see the labels. I have two radios with very similar front panel designs, both made by the same company, in fact, but the knobs do different things. So I'm reaching for one radio and like, why isn't this radio turning on? It's because I'm adjusting the knob for that position, but on the wrong radio. All right, there's just a little dopey-ass fill time story for you.
All right, I reduced the power a bit, so it's probably still more than I need. What do you say, Clark?
Hey, you want to bring it down? Keep going down.
All right, give me a couple seconds. All right, I might have to lower my modulator now, but how's that?
Yeah, fine. Leave it like that for a while.
Well, I could probably still come down from here, but it is what it is.
At some point, those Urbex videos are going to start looking really good.
Yeah, well, when it stops being fun, it stops being fun.
That's totally correct. And I think that there are some people who take amateur radio too seriously. Like they have to do it. Well, my philosophy on amateur radio is it's like the thing you do when you run out of other things which are more fun to do. But this is why you want to have, like in investing, you want to have a diversified portfolio of things you enjoy doing. And ham radio should really be somewhere at the bottom of that list. Boy, that's a negative thing to say. Why is that? Well, follow me along carefully on this logic. What other hobby can you mention or can you think of that the enjoyment of the hobby is directly related to the demeanor of the person you're interacting with? Think about that. Ham radio is an extremely socially vulnerable hobby. Like, if I'm being a complete jerk, which happens, a QSO with me would be a miserable experience. You can't exactly get on ham radio and just do your own... do your own thing. You got to communicate with somebody. And if that person is decent or interesting or, compelling or useful, they've got something useful that they're saying, then it ends up being rewarding. But if that person is surly or full of themselves, they tend to use the words me, mine, and I a lot. Or if they are dispensing pity party invitations, they're holding a pity party, they're hosting a pity party, and they want you to be a guest at it. You know, their life is so hard, they're suffering from this, they're suffering from that. This is exactly why you should feel sorry for this person. Stuff like that makes people go, oh, why? They don't want to listen to something like that. Ham radio then becomes unrewarding. And that's why it should be a lot closer to the bottom of the totem pole of choices of things to do. Huh?
Yeah, what? Yeah, well, Clark, that's sad. But whatever, it's one of my favorite things to do. Usually have some... I can have fun doing it. But like what you're saying before, I have a really hard time feeling sorry for people. It's just like not in my DNA. So it's kind of rough. I don't have I'm not a people person.
I mean, there have been ham radio operators who will get on the air and they will actively and fervently promote their ailments. I've mentioned this on the air before. It's just amazing. I heard one ham radio operator get on and give me his story about just all kinds of bad things going on health-wise with him. And, it's like, all right, well, I guess this guy needs to get it off his chest. So, I listened, and we all have our problems. Sometimes we all need to vent a bit. So it's like, all right, that's fine. I mean, I wouldn't do this. He doesn't know me. I certainly would not get on ham radio and start talking about my health issues. I don't really think I have any. But, I mean, if I did, I sure as freaking hell would not get on this medium and start telling the whole world about my health issues. But we signed, and I had the radio on because I said, well, I got to go make dinner, so nice talking to you, 7-3, and that's it. I remember this vividly because I walked out of the room, went into the kitchen, started putting dinner on, and I came back, and the radio was still on. He was in another QSO, and the story had started from the beginning. It's like, really? This guy is just like launching QSO after QSO and handing out his invitations to his pity party. It's like now it was starting to get, quite frankly, disgusting.
Well, I figured I'd leave a long space in there in case somebody wanted to jump in. But yeah, a lot of ham radio is disgusting, but it's I don't know. Who do I talk to on ham radio? It's the same. I can count them on one hand, the people who I like to get on and talk to, you being one of them, So, that's it. I just have fun doing that. Every once in a while, I'll work a contest or field day or whatever, and you're not talking to people really doing that. Just like a little chit-chat here and there, making contacts. That's fun. I like building stuff. That's totally like alone time. But yeah, there's a lot of disgusting aspects of this hobby. That being one of them. Look at me, give me attention. It's a childlike mentality taking over. You hear any buzz? Yeah, there's a little buzz on the carrier. That's okay. I don't care.
Well, I'm not saying that people should not get things off their chest. I mean, obviously, a lot of people take consolation in discussing their issues. However, this is something that should be done with friends, in private, or family, for friends and family, and certainly in private. Like you would never, ever, no sane person would get up in the middle of a restaurant and say, can I have your attention, please, and then start telling everybody about their personal issues. When you get on the air here, you're doing that. Sure, you're talking to the person you're intending to talk to, but you're also talking to a bunch of other people who listen. A lot of people listen to these frequencies. They don't always key up, but they listen. In fact, there's a lot more people who listen than actually participate. That, and it's not my opinion, I'm just saying that has been proven over and over and over and over and over and over and over again for years. It is amazing how many people say, yeah, I listen to you guys all the time and I never really key up. Of course, I feel it would be better if they did because it's nice to have variety, but some people like to just, have the radio on and go about doing other things. Maybe they're working on a project in their shack. Maybe they're just like to have, like the radio on in the background. I can't do that. I can't have the radio on in the background because I'm either listening to it or I'm focusing on what I'm doing. But some people can do that, which is great for them. But my main point is that when you get on a very public forum like amateur radio and you start talking about your personal issues, I am not just talking to you, Bill. I'm talking to a lot of people, and therein lies the problem. So, people who start relentlessly promoting themselves, as you said, the look at me or my issues. This is personal information, folks. for friends and for family. It is not for the public. So please think twice about picking up that microphone and going on and on and on about your personal issues.
Well, maybe they don't have any friends. That might be part of the problem.
Okay. All right. Hold that thought, because that goes hand in hand with some other things. There have been a few things that my opinions have been very much changed on in regard to ham radio, and this is almost like a confession, but I'll give you a couple of examples of that. Contesting. For many years, I was one of those folks who said, "My God, these contactors, they're like locusts. They take over the bands. They this, they that. They're rude. They cause quorum." On and on and on. And I never understood, why do we have contests when people just get on and say, "Oh, you're 5'9", here's my grid square, 7'3", good luck," and that's it. But I had a very interesting conversation with a friend of mine who works for the ARRL, and he very politely explained, and I don't mean that facetiously. I mean, he really very politely said that there are a lot of people who, with very busy schedules, you get into, I'm just saying this as an example. They're married, they have a young family, kids and stuff, and when you get that kind of level of responsibilities, which I don't have, so I'm not one to be able to relate automatically, you get to the point where their lives, you're planning out your weekends months in advance. Kids have soccer camp, or there's an away game, or they got to be driven to this, or there's this, or the mother-in-law is coming to stay this weekend, or we've got a party to go to at the neighbor's house on that weekend. All of a sudden, the whole weekend schedule for the year starts to fill up, and these people have very busy social schedules. And then there's the fill in the blank of your state QSO party, or there's some ARL sweepstakes or something like that. So when it comes time to sitting down with your better half and saying, "Hey, here's a weekend where there's something very meaningful to me going on, mother-in-law coming over, kids have soccer, whatever, it's this event," then that gets set aside. So when that weekend does come along, it's a big deal. And this is like the only weekend possibly that these people could even get on the air all year. That's rare, but that may be one of the very few times throughout the year that they can get on, compared to, the AM folks who get on and shoot the BS all the time, whereas they can, it's like there's no comparison there. So I softened to that. Anyway, I'll take a break here. There was another thing I wanted to bring up along those same lines. But yes, there are certainly reasons for stuff, and there certainly needs to be some extension of understanding offered by everyone for those reasons. But I'm talking about, as general rule of thumb, talking about personal issues, not a good topic.
Good points, Clark, and hold that thought. I want to come back to that, but Nick over there with the Boy Scout Merit Badge Station has done he retuned a different antenna. He says we're coming in really well on the dipole, but he has to transmit with another antenna, and it takes him about 5 seconds to go from receive to transmit. So he wants to jump in there and try one more time. So I'm going to just do a quick break here and call him, and hold that thought. I want to come back to that. So KE3AAR, this is W2BTK. I'll unkey, and you take your time to switch over to transmit mode, and I'm listening. I thought I saw a very light carrier.
I thought so also.
Well, okay, I definitely saw something there. Got signal in the receiver, but there's too much noise for me to hear anything you're saying. It's summertime sadness on 80 with all this noise. So KE3AAR, this is W2BTK. I guess we'll try it one more time, but then I'd like to get back to Clark's discussion here. So you gotta get on 20 tomorrow, and then we'll get on that repeater. But this doesn't seem to be working super well. But one more time, all right? Here, it's all you. KE3AAR, W2BTK. Yeah, I'm not able to pull anything out. Really, really good. I mean, I tell you, you're trying hard over there. It's just, it's not working with all the noise and whatnot. But you guys are putting in excellent effort. We'll have to do this another way because 80 meters is not. It's not happening. So I'm gonna call it. Thanks for trying, though, man. That's really cool. And hopefully we can make a contact tomorrow, if not anywhere else, on a 2-meter repeater or something like that, because I want you boys to get that merit badge. This is W2BTK. Back over to you, Clark. Continue, please.
Well, listen, if Nick's willing to hang in there, I still want to try to help him out here, because I have a funny feeling there's something really solvable here that's going on, because that rig that he's got is great. The antenna should work to some extent. He's got a tuner. All this stuff is good, but there's just something that's not coming together. So, Nick, I don't even know if you're hearing me or not, but if you are, could you let Bill know in the chat, do you have an external tuner, or is it the tuner that's built into the 480? And I guess I'll wait for that answer to come in on the Nervous Twitch channel. Oh, the other thing I was going to mention about that is and we've talked about this before, and that is there are a lot of ham radio operators, and matter of fact, I think it's the majority, incredibly, who like the format of a structured conversation, meaning in contesting, where you say, well, basically the same thing, and you copy the other station. I mean, you never say anything different. You basically all say the same thing, but you write down the information of the different stations you're talking with. And there's the fear of public speaking, which, by the way, does anyone realize that the fear of public speaking is the #1 phobia of human beings on this planet? Can you imagine that? Not falling, not getting hit by lightning, not getting a nibble taken out of your leg by a shark, not losing all your money or anything like that. No, the #1 fear, #1, this is amazing, this statistic, is public speaking. More people have said that they fear public speaking than anything else. And so the contesting format of communication allows you to basically work stations around the world, but you don't have to do public speaking. Like, you never have to get off script. And I am not dissing people at all for that, because I have fears also. I had a fear of heights. Actually, I still do. And yet I got a pilot's license. That's a long story. But that was a tough tooth pull, so I get it. Fears are super freaking real, and I respect that. And a lot of people have a fear of public speaking, and the idea of picking up a microphone and just starting to talk to whomever on the radio, wherever they are, it can make your knees weak. I get that. So anyway, so these are things which I have come to appreciate and sympathize with. Fear of public speaking, having super limited time available to you, which is why you do contesting, if it's on a specific schedule. And thirdly, what Bill brought up is the people may not have a wide collection of friends to share their, to commiserate with about personal issues. Okay, there. I think we covered some really interesting ground here. N1BCG at 8 o'clock Eastern Time Zone.
Yeah, still no word from Nick in the chat. I think they're doing stuff over there. So yeah, they're probably having a good time. I saw a picture of the setup. They're out in the woods over there on this ridge, and they've got some kind of old military setup going on. It looks like a good time, but yeah, that's the Dr. Clark show. The human condition applied to ham radio, whatever. I just like to get on here and cut up, have a good time, go back and forth, drink some wine. I don't even get on during the week anymore, just on the weekend when I have time to dedicate and sit down and operate for a while, and I completely stopped listening to ham radio except when I'm operating, Not that I don't have any interest, but, it's kind of, I just don't do it. Like, when I'm doing something else, I am not listening to my receive. It's not even on, but let's sit down and operate. I do so I try to for a couple hours, get it in. But I don't know, I'm still having fun doing this stuff. It wasn't fun when I blew up my transistor today, but I have one more of those. I gotta build some protection circuits. Transistors suck.
K4, QJW.
I think I heard KE4QJW, is that right?
Yes, sir. KE4QJW. My name is Chris. I was just browsing around. To be honest with you, I haven't heard anybody on AM, so I'm not sure I'm on the right frequency. I couldn't tell what frequency you were on.
Yeah, hey Chris, we're on about 3873, running a 1940s VFO, so I probably drifted from there a little bit. Clark, are you hearing Chris out there?
Yes.
So, I'm the other gentleman's name's Clark, and your name's William?
Yeah, that's correct, Billy.
Okay, Bob. Like I said, my name's Clark. I'm fairly new, man. I got my general license back in November. Talk around on sideband a lot, but I haven't talked much on AM. I've got an old radio. It's Kenwood TS940, and not the greatest for AM, so I don't know how I found. It's really hard to dial this thing in because I'm not being sensitive. Well, if I tweak it a little one way or the other, the audio goes down to nothing, or it's overdriven and nothing. So it's almost impossible to get it where it's clear. So hopefully you're hearing me clear. I don't know. I tried to get it right.
Yeah, okay, Chris. Well, AM's a lot of fun. The 940's working well. It sounds like it's a little overdriven. Might be overdoing it with the audio, but if it's that touchy, I don't know. I understand you. I don't know how much you want to screw with it, but you sound okay. What do you think, Clark?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, I tweaked it back just a hair, so probably not swinging as much power out, but I don't know if that's clear or not.
Yeah, that's better.
Yup.
Yeah, unfortunately, where this thing, where the setting is for single sideband, I can crank it way up. And the more I crank it, the better it sounds with the body. But this thing is super sensitive on AM, and it's got all the weird problems. Almost every time I change frequency and key up, I have to readjust the forward power for the AM carrier. And the lower slider on this thing, I mean, you just like tap it with your fingernail and it jumps 40 watts. Trying to dial it into 20 watt carrier is almost, it takes a little while to get it where it's supposed to be. Okay, good. If I'm clear, that's nice. It's nice to know that I can use this radio on AM.
Oh, there. Hey, I heard you pretty well that time there, Nick. K3 Alpha Romeo W2BTK. You're doing much better. I actually hear a little bit of audio coming through there. So yeah, that totally counts, man. KE3AAR W2BTK. And Chris, excuse me, there's a station out there. They're set up trying to get the Boy Scout Radio Merit Badge, and they just got it working well enough for me to hear them.
Yeah, that's I can hear them barely. I'm in the northern tip of Virginia in Porter County, and I can barely hear them every once in a while over the noise, but I've got a lot of static.
All right, that was a bit of a double there. Just hang on 1 second there, Chris. Nick, go ahead. Yeah, you're in a bit of a fade, and the noise swallowed you up there. But Nick, I heard you come in there. I heard your full call sign, and I would say that totally counts as a contact. I'm not sure if the other guys jump on how well it's going to work, but that's the best that I've heard you all night.
WOAA here in Southern Ohio. Hello.
All right, I didn't hear Nick that time, but man, Clark, were you able to hear Nick at all?
Yeah, a little bit. See there, making improvements.
Yeah, that's excellent. Jeez. No, that's good work. If that was you, Nick, throwing a carrier, that was strong. Yeah, KE3AAR, I heard you pretty well that time. Somebody keyed up on 3875, but I heard you. This is W2BTK.
W2BTK, this is WO. Copy?
Yeah, KE3AAR, I've got a bunch of guys keying up on top of you over here. I'm doing my best. Come on back one more time. KE3AAR, W2BTK. Yeah, I heard you. I got the call sign out of that. KE3AAR, W2BTK. Yeah, it's a little light with the modulation. Very, very noisy out here. signal strength is good. Yeah, there's a bunch of guys tuning up and this and that over here. A lot of QRM and noise and lightning static, so it's very rough. But you guys are doing pretty well down there, I gotta say. Let me throw it back to Clark. I know that there's a whole bunch of people trying to jump in here, but I really want to throw it back to Clark because we were having a pretty good conversation there. But if you guys want to jump in and try again, it looks like you're making major improvements there. K3AAR, W2BTK, throwing it over to N1BCG, because I guess I got to do that.
So, is Nick running remote, or is he just at his house? I mean, is he set up like portable somewhere?
Yeah, they're outside. They set up a couple of antennas. They're up on a ridge about 250 foot above sea level. The dipole's up about 50 feet in the air, so they're out in the wilderness there, set up portable.
How much power are they running with a dipole at 50 feet? They ought to be S9. I can barely hear a carrier.
They've been having, issues. They've been making major improvements, but about 25 watts.
Well, that'd be the same as a guy with a dipole in a rice box. They're 20 dB down from that. Something's wrong. And I want to work them because I support the Scouts, W2JBL.
Yeah, well, there's a bunch of boys out there trying to get the radio merit badge, and they're doing a lot better than they were before, so whatever, they're figuring it out, you know?
Well, that's what it's all about. Figure it out. I don't know if you guys... Clark, I wonder if you get it. KVW's spurious carrier 11KC down from where he's at. That was stepping on the Scouts.
Right. Well, apparently with my half legal limit, I'm destroying his QSO as well. Who's the W08A?
Thank you. This is Mark, W08. Man, you guys are hard to get in between. I'm in Montgomery, Ohio. Listen to your conversation, and I didn't really want to say much. I just wanted to see this old Viking 2 was going to modulate, so appreciate that. And I'm interested in the Scouts out there, but I can't copy them at all here in Waverly, Ohio. But I just wanted to say hello to you. You guys sound really good, bodacious signals. Except I can't hear the other station with the Scouts. So anyway, I'll shut up and try and hope this whole Viking's working okay. I haven't had it fired up very long. So anyway, appreciate it. That's Whiskey Oscar 8 Alpha in Southern Ohio. Thank you.
All right, yeah, I heard you trying to break in earlier, but it's just been, there's been a lot of activity here. But, we've talked before. N1BCG.
And Clark, breaking news, you're not wide.
I know, but if it suits the narrative, then yes, I am.
Well, I had to get that in there.
I haven't been doing anything different with the sound of the station since 2015 or 2016, and now all of a sudden it's a big issue. So the clues are right there.
Well, you were back and forth between the project processor and your normal setup, and there is a difference between the two, but I gather you're back on your same old.
Yes, I am, only because this doesn't require running the audio into, the whole different part of the room and setting up a separate power supply, and it just, I'm all tested out on that board.
Yeah. So you're fine. But, I had a W08A. Mark, we've worked before. Last you were on a, you've been coming in here on a DX60, I think?
Yes, that is correct. W8A. Yeah, had the DX fired up, and now I'm looking at it, sitting on the shelf. It's got some things working now, and I thought I'd go with some classic radio with this way too. But you know, it's 100 watts. With that DX60, I was running a lot less power because I was had the modulation tube changed and the driver tube changed, and I was just sticking my amplifier with about 9 watts. But now I'm just running straight with a radio here, this Viking. But yeah, you got a memory and a mind like a steel trap for sure. W8A.
63 years old and grew up, came of age in the late 1960s, so the memory is, the memory's got some holes in it, and so on. But yeah, I work you when I'm up at my place in the Adirondack Mountains. It's like right across the lakes from you, and I hear you good up there. I've worked you from here, from home, downstate New York. Yeah, I remember the DX60. Well, you're a good 10 dB stronger than you would have been with the DX60, and the audio sounds good, so congratulations on getting a Viking 2 on the air. I'm sitting in front of one right now. I'm not using it, but it's usually parked on 160, but I've had my Viking 2 for, God, close to 30 years now, and it's one of the best, most reliable transmitters I've ever had.
Well, that's really good to hear. I know I've been doing a lot of YouTubing with the maps and tearing and all that, and I've got the manual about dog legs, pages, but I'm really enjoying it. I listen more than I talk, but I just want to get I have to say something to you guys. So you sound so good here in Waverly. So thanks a lot. I'll listen and I'll learn more that way for sure. And yeah, I grew up in the same time frame. I'm 67 right now, so yeah. But my memory's not near that good, that's for sure.
Some of the things we did back in the day can affect the memory. Yeah, congratulations on getting that going. My Viking 2 is pretty heavily modified. I did the mods, back in the early 90s when I got it, and just slammed the hood on it and drove it down the road after that. Haven't touched it since, so that's a good rig. You'll have a lot of fun with it. 7-3s, I guess you're signing out. I'm going to get out of here, too. I just wanted to say hi to everybody and make a bit of a drive-by. It's W2JBL.
Yeah, 7-3s, you guys. Take it easy. I might catch you later on. I'll try to go around to that's in the morning, but you guys sound really good here in Ohio. So carry on, gentlemen.
Yeah, and 7-3's Clark and Bill. Thanks for that. Oh, one thing, Clark, if you're still listening, I got the pictures of the boat, and it's way cool, and the outboard is my outboard in a different color. But I heard you made reference to you're operating that vessel in a pond someplace. Don't you have like a municipal, town launching ramp there to get into the sound?
No, I'm not using it in the sound.
Where the hell is there a lake big enough for that? And it just doesn't compute. Or you don't have a trailer.
Right.
I'd help you with that if I could.
It's okay.
The boat and the trailer went to the scrapyard in Elmsford.
Well, ouch is the only word that comes to mind.
Otherwise, you could have had actually, you could have had the boat and the trailer if you had a truck to haul them out of my mom's house. But that's an interesting looking boat. Never saw one of those before. Quite like that. It's like it's got the little whaler inspired bow on it. Mine had the rise and then just a blunt, like a landing craft plate of plywood there at the bow or the prow.
Well, they were made right here in Greenwich by a little shop directly under the railroad tracks by Arch Street.
Wow.
W2BTK.
Crap, that's cool.
Yep, skimmer of. It even says that on the edge of the boat. It says skimmer, Greenwich, Connecticut.
I didn't know they worked in fiberglass. We had a I'm repeating myself because we had this conversation. It's one of the best boats the family ever had. It was a 14-foot plywood skimmer with 3 seats, and I forget what the hell outboard we had on it. Didn't know they progressed into fiberglass.
Well, that one, that boat dates to 1977, 78, or somewhere around there.
Okay, well, ours is dated to 1960 or so, and that was another one that drifted in after a storm. I'm in 3rd grade, I think. Might have been younger than that. But I remember being home with my mom. She used to come pick me up at school for lunch. And I'd have lunch at home and she'd drive me back. And one day, I'm eating lunch and we look out the kitchen window, which looked out over the water, and this boat is just drifting in with the incoming tide. And she got all revved up, and we got out there on our other little rowboat, rowed out there and put a line on it and dragged the thing back in. And that's another one that had no hull number on it. And, we asked around, nobody knew where it came from. It broke loose, this and that. We kept that boat, had that thing for 10 years. God bless not having a hull number. But that was our skimmer. And with that, I am going to sign out of here. Good night, Clark. Bill's probably asleep, Mark. And KE3AAR, who I didn't quite copy. Good luck to you guys. God bless. W2JBL.
See ya, Chris.
Good evening.
See you later, Chris.
Watch out from them wide carriers.
Yeah, are we all supposed to be running multiples of legal limit down on this frequency? Isn't that the norm?
I tried lowering my power. Clark told me to stop.
Well, yeah, because you were insulting the 3873.
I feel like I could get away with running less power than this. I'm almost at legal limit.
Something's wrong with my Variac. It's frozen in its position, welded, and I can't turn it down.
Was that KE3AAR again? Yeah, I'm hearing you pretty well now. You're coming in. Somebody had keyed up at like 3876 or something with a strong carrier, but you guys are making major improvements over there. I'm hearing you better and better and better every time you come back. Yeah, somebody keeps... I have the area above this frequency notched out, and somebody keeps keying up there right on top of you. I don't know who it is. They're not in my pass band, but they're splashing down enough to take you out. The summertime static conditions are kind of getting the best of you, but your signal's very good. Nick sent me some pictures of the setup over there. That is super, super cool, man. The bag of that CK 1500. Man, I want to go down there and operate, but You guys are up and down a little bit. Sometimes I hear you great. Other times the static takes you out, but you're getting it figured out. That's for sure. KE3AAR W2BTK. Yeah, somebody is relentlessly keying on top of you, and like I said, they're not in my pass band. It just sounds like I have that area notched out. So just give me 1 minute. I'm trying to work some Boy Scouts trying to get their merit badge over here. Hey, KE3AAR, can you repeat that? This is W2BTK. Yeah, you guys have a good signal. It's just there's so much static on this band right now that the audio, I'm not able to really get much of the modulation out of it, but your carrier's nice and strong. So, well, sorry about that. And I guess I have to open up my passband now and see who that is who keeps jumping in there.
Why'd you have Nick try sideband?
Well, I could switch my rigs around. It'd take me a minute here. I'm gonna go flip some switches and do some stuff. We could try that, I guess. But let's see.
Well, no, I mean, don't bother.
Fitty Blue, man. Hey, welcome to the party. Thanks for the follow.
And you don't need to change anything. He still listens to you on sideband, so you stay on AM, but we just listen to him with a BFO.
Yeah, we could try that. KE3AAR, you're still listening there. Why don't you guys flip over to lower sideband, and I'll change my receiver over to sideband. I'm still going to transmit on AM, but we could try it like that. I might have a better time hearing you. Thanks for the host, buddy.
Yeah, I don't hear him either. Sorry? What's that? 3873. We're trying to make contact with a scout station. We're working on an award.
W2BTK, Kilo Echo 3, Alpha Alpha Romeo, how do you hear me? Modulation, but we're doing quite well up here, just making station adjustments. We don't have any students
with us at the moment. Adjustments for tomorrow, so if you'd like to make contact with me, that's okay.
I guess the Boy Scout Radio Merit Badge just scared everybody away. Clark, you still out there?
Yeah, big deal. I heard them also, so I'm glad we did that.
I am too.
Did you ever find out, or did they ever mention on your channel if they had an external tuner or if it was internal?
I don't think I ever got that info. I guess Nick's phone needed a charge, so he wasn't monitoring the stream for a little while there. But it might be the internal tuner on that rig. I'm not sure.
All right. Well, anyway, I don't regret the amount of time put into that because a couple of things. Number one, just in general, they should easily have a good signal. And number two, I wouldn't want to do anything to discourage these young ham radio operators. So, they're willing to stick with it and make some adjustments and try to get it better, then I'm in it for the long run also.
Yeah, well, he said that they're done making contacts for the day, but, they still have this station up, and I guess that's they're all working under the control of KE3AAR, so I assume that was KE3AAR just operating, so it seems like he's still listening, still out there, but... Yeah, it's really cool. I hope they have some better luck tomorrow. They're getting it all figured out, though.
Yeah, well, the rig that he's got is good. I've had experience with the 480, and 50 feet up, that's good. It's just a matter of what's going on with that antenna. And the match thing, of course, is kind of suspicious. But, the fact that they even made a contact on 80 meters with such a short antenna, that's remarkable. I would be thinking that antenna tuner is singing for its dinner, as the expression is, on this band. But on 40, they should have a lot more luck. But he said it wasn't tuning up well, so I don't know. So there's a couple of questions that linger. But, oh well. At least they made contact. N1BCG.
There's AJ1G out there. Yeah. So that counts. It totally was a contact. I heard them clearly a few times there. But I guess that was Nick from the chat out on the operating there. And correction, K3AAR is the club call sign. They're operating under the control of KB3SBC. So they have extra privileges.
Very nice.
AJ1G, go ahead.
Yep, AJ1G, Chris in Stonington, Connecticut, on emergency power, testing the 17.5 kW Generac 43 horse V-twin, trying to reason with hurricane.
All right, Chris, well, I'm hearing you here in Greenwich, N1BCG.
Very nice signal there. I guess Billy's in here, and K1 LLC. I think I worked him on the way home from Big Where with our fish and chips dinner, which we haven't had yet. Just powered up I powered up both my big generators, the 7.5 kW, which always runs, and this 17.5, which hasn't run at all lately, but I figured out it had the governor throttle spring was all mugged up, and I gave it a shot of cleaner and freed it up, and it's running. For a while it was spitting and backfiring on the right low, but I think whatever that was, whether it's something in the governor or the cold fuel or something like that. So it's purring like a kitten right now. It's almost roaring like a lion, but it's stable. So all set, pretty much ready to shut that. I'll make at least one contact here with the station up. I'll turn it over to, I guess, Billy if he's in here. I was a Billy. LOL at least is in. I don't know if BTK is. AJ1G.
Yeah, I hear you just fine, AJ1G, W2BTK. I missed what kind of rig that is. It's weird. You have a lot more energy in your lower sideband than the upper sideband. Something's a little fishy there.
It should look a lot better now. That's my Central Electronics 28, and I was running an RSA down in 38, 27 ANRs, and I would try to turn on, and a bunch of the other ARs that go down there outside, then WA1GOS, the K1DA, and I got very jumping down on the lower sideband. It should work out. Hopefully I got it back to the audio back. It's over marginally. That should be much better now. This is the W and 600 amplifier. Oh boy, very low. That should be, that's why I had it back to audio up. Way over marginally. Yeah, it should be better now. about 100 watts of carrier. Actually, it's only about 30 watts of carrier. You got to adjust the carrier level, carrier version control on a 28 phasing rig. W2BTK, AJ1G on emergency power.
Yeah, whatever you did, fix the lower sideband issue. It's pretty even now, but you're jumping in and out of the noise. Sometimes you're real strong. Sometimes I can barely hear you, but it's just summertime conditions. The noise level is very, very high tonight.
Well, you must be running a lot more power than me then, because you and Clark are both DF2 like a local repeater.
Well, we've got stations adjusted for the current conditions, I guess I'll put it that way.
Okay, I'm gonna go shift back to commercial here, and my wife's trying to watch me up there, and when I shift the power, the cable box reset and has to relearn and all that stuff. Now it's going to do it again. So I just want to check it out, make sure things are all running, being ready for Tuesday. Last track I saw, the storm had it going right through the Bahamas and over Andros Island and then up along the coast. And last shot I saw this afternoon, it's going to go right across Cape Cod Canal. I mean, it's still very early for that track. It's moving west, I know that. It was going to pass off the Cape. Now it's on the Cape and almost off the Cape, and maybe it'll even go further west. Who knows? Anyhow, see you guys later. I got to go shut the generator down and shift back. I'll shift back to the normal power and then shut the generator down. AJ1G.
Yeah, you're doing pretty well that time, so. All right, we'll talk to you later.
I did mine.
Billy.
Daryl, was that you up on 3875? I couldn't hear you. I have my entire upper sideband shut down because of the splash problem coming from 3885.
So where you at now? You on 75 or you on 73?
No, we're on 73. I was just saying, if that was you keying up on 75 before, I couldn't hear anything. I had my pass band does not extend up there.
Oh yeah, that was me. Yep, that was me. What does it sound like over there? Where you at?
You're smoking. You're smoking. The thing is doing it. The glass from the past. And you got Clark out there as well. I'm sure he hears you just fine.
Always.
Good evening. Good evening, Clark.
Good evening.
Okay, Billy. All right. Appreciate it. All right. It's Friday.
Yes, it is. What happened, Clark? Don't go watch Urbex's videos. Come on, man.
I was just gonna say I got a phone call I gotta make, so I gotta jump out for a minute.
All right.
Well, you got plenty of people here on frequency, so I don't see there being any lapse in the fun and excitement.
Maybe Dave will get on.
Yeah.
Dave. Oh, he says probably not. Yeah, I don't think his radio works here on 3873. He's got this is like a really stupid noise that on this frequency in his receive over there. K83 AAR W2BTK, I hear you. Yep, I'm getting bits and pieces of it there. You're just barely coming up over the noise level, which is extremely high. I mean, if it wasn't there, it'd be an easy copy. It's just a little bit too noisy. It's really frustrating, man.
Our economy.
All right, Nick. Man, you guys made some major improvements today. I'm impressed, and I know tomorrow is going to be a lot better. You should definitely try to get on 20 meters during the daytime. That's probably going to be your best bet for making a bunch of HF contacts. And like I said, I'm going to get my my 2-meter rig all hooked up over here. I'll program in the Allentown repeater. If you wouldn't mind, send me a text with the information for the repeater that you're going to be on, and I'll make sure that I have a radio ready to go there. So if all else fails, I'll sit there on the repeater with you, and you can just run the gambit with get everyone on and make a contact if you want. So we'll plan on that if nothing else is working. So good stuff, man. Really cool setup. I love that old military contraption that you're operating out of, and you're just good stuff, man. So we'll catch you later. K83 AAR W2BTK listening. Listening to static. All right, well, I guess Clark's out. Dave's not getting on. The Splash Crew's up on 3885. Ham radio's dead tonight. Dead to me. Yeah, for sure. Those guys, they did a great job today. Like when they first got on, I could barely hear them, and that they're almost busting through the really, really high static level that we have over here. So like that's hard to do for anybody. I mean, the guys who I'm talking to, who you hear comfortably, are, you know, they've got really, really good setups. So for a little portable setup to be doing that, they're doing really well. And Tommy, that's exciting, man. I'm glad you met up with Dave. You got your crystals and your mic. I can't wait to hear you on the air, man. That's gonna be pretty cool. But Jesus, the radio is just crap tonight. Got somebody transmitting feedback on 3873 now. Great. I mean, I'm sure you're going to sound very vintage on that thing, but it's not going to bother me. Yeah, Jim, that's the problem. This summertime noise floor gives me headaches too. Like, I can only do it for so long. I'm like, and then, you know, I'll let's see who this is. Oh, yeah, there's CWM is on 3873. Not bad or good, just vintage, you know. I mean, it's not going to sound like Clark. It's going to sound like communications, you know, crystal mic into a tighter bandwidth and this and that. It'll sound great, you know, just not like a broadcast station. I'm just letting you know now. But once you get comfortable with that thing, Tommy, you get it running, you talk on it for a while, we're going to go through and externally modulate that thing just like I'm doing with my vintage transmitter. And then you will sound like a broadcast station. So you just have to get used to using that thing, get it on the air, talk on it for a little while, get comfortable with it. And that's the next step. So you're going in absolutely the right order. Get on with that thing and see what the hell it does, you know? Dude, that's perfect. I mean, it's awesome. Tubes, man. Ancient stuff. That's where it's at. You get on the air with that thing, you get like instant street cred, you know? And it's going to sound like a vintage rig. Not that that's bad or good or anything. It's going to just, you know, it's not going to sound like an E-rig. It's just going to, I just work on getting that thing on the air, and then we'll modify the crap out of it until you sound better than me. You got to start somewhere, you know? Dude, the thing, though, 350 is the boat anchors used to be cheap. And now, for whatever reason, the price is up. So, like, people used to throw them away. Oh, I'm not even push to talk right now. I keep hitting push to talk. But you guys hear everything. What? All right, Nick sent me the info for a 2-meter repeater out there in Earlville. I should be able to hit that thing. Hopefully I can hear it. Yeah, $95. That's good. 350's talking about people who pay like, $600 for like a DX100 or something. Which, I mean, it happens. RTTY, I mean, I'm sort of set up for RTTY. I believe I could do that. I'd have to switch over to the 440 and install a couple programs on the computer. I could probably get it set up. Hey, KD9, what's up, man? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, 350. Like, stuff like Viking 2s, stupid money, people used to throw them away. Man. The radio's pretty trashed here. I didn't even pour a glass of wine yet, It's, it is what it is. I was super tired today, though, man. I woke up, chilled out, and then I went and took a nap for like 2 hours. Just a little off. The whole work thing's kicking my ass. I'm gonna real quick, guys. I'm gonna jump in the other room and shut off the high voltage, just because still got, what is that? The thing idles at 3,000 volts DC. It's just sitting there doing that. Boo Boo did nap with me, man. She was hanging out. Hey, thanks, Jim. Dude, I'm into this. I want to see other people get into it, man. Especially like Boy Scouts trying to get their merit badge for radio. Like, that is so cool. Like, that needs to be encouraged, Hang on one sec. I'm gonna go turn the high voltage off in the other room. All right, that's a little bit safer. Yeah, Boo Boo's cool, man. She hangs out. She's sleeping on the floor over there, Well, anyway, guys, not very much of a stream tonight. We're almost at the 2-hour mark. Usually I'm just getting started, but the whole oh man, the IQ stuff, Jim, I got it all set up today, working with both the amplifiers, right? And then I guess the one interstage amplifier before the LDMOS heated up, and the drive power creeped up, right? And it overdrove that LDMOS. I blew it up. I blew up the transistor. So I have one more. I'm gonna solder it in. It's reflow soldered down to a big piece of copper. So I'm gonna have to take the whole circuit board apart, get that out, put it on the stovetop, reflow it, pull the old one off, solder a new one on, put it all back together, and then I can try it again. Although I'm a little timid with that. I need to get some safety circuitry in there to like clamp it off if it gets overdriven and this and that. And I'm going to have to look in that. So I might hold off on testing that again until I can get some safety circuitry going with that setup to protect it, because it's a $200 transistor and I only have one more. So I know they make some boards and stuff on eBay. I'm going to look into them. But yeah, I had it working great though. Like, it sounded awesome, full frequency response. It was making plenty of power to drive my big amplifier, which I didn't try, but I could totally get on the air with that setup. Proof of concept is done. It works. It's just I have to I have to get used to it, and those transistors are super sensitive, so they need some protection circuitry around them. So it'll probably be a couple weeks before I do anything like really serious with that again, just because I'm very timid now, being on my last transistor, and I do not want to blow that up, because buying those things sucks. Yeah, very expensive, but the whole thing works. It works great. So as long as I don't blow it up again, or I can figure out a way to keep it from blowing up if I do something stupid, we'll be on the air with the old quadrature modulated exciter. I just also have to figure out how to trigger it from my relay rack. I thought I had a way, but I didn't quite get it working. There's like a pulse input. If you put 5 volts on this external pulse input, it's supposed to turn the RF on, but I couldn't get it working. So I got to work that out too, but it's coming. So I just figured I'd get on with the old boat anchor tonight and try to do some EAM, but got a bunch of idiots on 3885 and not that much interesting stuff happening on 3873. So what are you going to do? Try again tomorrow. Good news is it's only Friday. Still got Saturday to do some stuff, and then Sunday is my chill out day before I gotta go back to these guys, H&B, Hatzel and Boo Boo. Morty. Rick Sanchez is on another level. I'm just an appliance operator posing as somebody who knows stuff. I go, well, I don't have a mixer here. I just have the audio rack, you know, like all this crap. So under there, like you see those headphones and crap, there's a bunch of XLRs down there. And I basically I have one that comes from the rack. I have one that goes out to the other room, or that goes into that amplifier there for the Viking 2. I have another pigtail laying there for the 440. I have one laying there for the IQ exciter, and I just like replug the XLRs down there to route the audio around. It's not a very professional way to do it, but you know, it works. So yeah, I can route the audio around like that. It just takes a minute. I got to replug stuff. But actually, you can see over there, boom's in the way. So like this DI right here, if you follow this, oh my God, I've got a tangled ass mess. You can tell I was working on stuff today because everything is all strewn about, crapped up. This, if you see, I soldered a TRS plug on this BNC connector. So this is the audio input for the IQ exciter right there. So I literally I take the audio from the rack and I plug it into that XLR adapter there, and I get audio from that rack into the IQ exciter. And if I want to do complex AM, I have to use the I and the Q. But for just like normal AM, like I'm doing on 3885, you only need one input. But to play the images and do all that crap, you need I and Q. So, you know, because to do like the independent sideband and the complex AM stuff. Yeah, it's all manual routing, man. It's very caveman over here. I don't have anything fancy. Just a lot of crap janked together. So, yeah, it is what it is. I'm kind of bummed that I blew that thing up, but whatever. I'm learning here too. Got my homemade vape juice. Yeah. Yo, Toby, what's going on, man? The radio kind of sucks tonight. I kind of hung it up. Just chatting right now, man. Actually, there's somebody transmitting 3873. Who the hell is that? But he having
what they call the quiet corner of Connecticut, the northeast corner, the little town of Ashford. Northeast corner, probably about 10 miles south of the Mass border, and maybe 15 miles, maybe 20 miles west of the Rhode Island border. So.
And there's slop bucket in there. I don't want to listen to that. So, yeah, take a little. I guess this counts as a night off. I didn't operate for very long. Yeah, see, you didn't even bother turning the thing on. 3885's been taken over by retards. Well, I shouldn't say that. By stupid people. All right, Jim. Hey, I'll catch you later, man. I'm probably gonna get out of here in a few minutes myself. I want to program my 2-meter radio, get ready for tomorrow, so I can talk to Nick on the repeater there. Oh, cool. Jim's hosting me again. Thanks, Jim. Oh, what? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I could see if, like, maybe Steve or somebody's streaming tonight. Run, Bill, you said retards on Twitch. Now the clown world down. Oh, dude, I know. You know what I mean. These guys on 3885 are stupid. And it was totally wrong of me to say retard, but I apologized. I don't know. Call the police. I didn't mean it. I meant to say stupid. Bald Engineer is streaming. Yeah, that's true. Let's see. Well, do you guys want to watch Bald Engineer? I'm not sure what he's working on tonight. Oh, we got an ad. Yes. Well, I don't know. You guys choose. I could totally raid into another channel. What? Oh, Bald Engineer's doing like some kind of Q&A thing. What fictional device enables time travel? Well, everyone knows the flux capacitor. Oh. Well, what would you guys rather? What would you guys rather do? Oh, Arduino programming. Would you rather go to Bald Engineer or Scarlett the DJ? Looks like she's doing some kind of cosplay DJ set. Bald Engineer? All right, I could do that. Let's see. Oh, yeah. All right, let's see. Oh, hey, there's me. Let's raid a channel. The Bald Engineer. What? Hold on. Bald. What the hell? Can I not raid Bald Engineer? Maybe he has shut off now. Hold on. Raid. All right. Oh, crap. I spelled it wrong. Raid. Bald. All right. Hey, we're going to raid Bald Engineer, guys. So he's doing more interesting stuff than me tonight, I bet. So thanks for stopping by, guys. It's been a pleasure talking to you guys, having you in here. So we'll catch you later. We're going to try again tomorrow. See you later, Jim. Have fun at Bald Engineers channel.
That there might be a giveaway associated with that. So, yeah, let me know over there what kind of cool components. Hey, Amateur Radio Live, welcome to the stream. We just got started. Okay, yes, 1K resistors. Yes. Always should add those to a kit, apparently, so at some point. So, tonight, we are going to continue to work on the